Okay, everyone, welcome back to Cabin Crafts. And as promised, I am going to show you how to make this cute cardboard Putz house. And I'm using my close-up camera so that you can see a lot of the detail. But as you can see, this is the finished product. And so we're going to do a couple of videos. I've got a little bit of cotton in my smokestack there. But I'm going to tell you the supplies you will need. You will need, and this is what's cool about this. Now, I use chipboard like I make my band boxes out of that I buy at Hobby Lobby. But you can actually get a cardboard box, a cereal box, and fold it inside out so that the cardboard part is showing, because we're going to paint this. And I'm going to set this out of the way for a minute. And I've got all of my pieces pre-cut and their measurements so that I can share that with you. You're going to need an X-Acto knife. You're going to need a ruler. You can see this one's well used. You're going to need a hot glue gun. And you're going to need, this is my glitter that I used on mine. This is like a really soft, pillowy stuff. It's kind of like mica flakes, but it's not the antique-y looking mica flakes. And then in the next video, because we're not going to do this all at once tonight, I'm going to show you how to finish it like I did. But first of all, I'm going to show you the pieces of cardboard that you will need. So here's your base. This is 5.5 inches by 3 inches. That's what your little house will sit on. And this is your house. So you can see we have an eave, a wall, an eave, and a wall. And the total length is 13 inches. That's this way. Okay, and then your first wall is going to be 4.5 inches. And then this is 2 inches. And then another 4.5 inches, and then 2 inches. And then it's 4 inches to the peak of the eave. And I will show you what we're going to do with that in a minute. But I've got some wax paper down so I don't ruin my cute little Christmas tablecloth here in my kitchen. But what we're going to do is we're going to take a ruler and we're going to score. And I'm going to actually measure over 4.5 inches. And just make a little notch there so that I make sure my walls are really even. And I'm just going to score it. Now don't go all the way through. This is going to help it to bend when it's time to bend. And then this one is 2 inches. So I'm just going to start anywhere. So 2 and 2 is 4. I'll make a notch there. Actually, I want to flip this over, because we're going to paint on this side, and I don't want all that scribbly gook on there. So I'm going to go over 2 inches, make a mark, and it won't matter that I already scored it. On the other side, because we're not going all the way through. So 2 inches, and then 4.5 inches. And we'll score that. And what this is going to do is this is going to help our walls bend really easy. And then 4 inches. And I'll show you here in a minute. So we're just going to score these. So like I said, I didn't go all the way through. So now our walls will bend really super easy. See that? And now you're looking down on the top of my little log cabin. So all we're going to do, and I like to keep this glued side to the back. So this is going to be the front. I'm just going to run a bead of hot glue And I'm left-handed, and everything's got to be on my right-hand side for some reason, because my outlet is over there. And try to be neat, but we're going to paint it, so it's not a big deal if you don't. And you're just going to glue that wall down. Just hold it a minute till it's good and glued, and it is. Get it square. So there's our house. So you can see you've got 2 eaves and 2 long walls. So there we go. Next is the roof. And the roof is 5 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And I found the center of the 4 1/4 inch side, which would be 2 1/8 inch. Okay. And you can see my score line. And all we're going to do is just fold that in half. There we go. And there's our roof. So we're going to glue our roof. We're going to glue our roof to the house, and you want to try to get your roof centered. And so I'm going to put some glue along the edge of the front eave and try and get it centered. And it looks like we're pretty centered, and you can see I'm getting that one glued down and that side glued down. Okay, and then we're going to just kind of flip that up, and then we're going to put some glue. Let me get it up here so you can see it. On this eave, and some glue on that eave, and then I'll turn it sideways so you can see. We just glue it down on both ends. And it's not going to matter if you've got a little glue residue up in here, because we're going to paint this whole thing, like I said. And it's going to look really cute. And all of this glitter, let me get my other one back here now. All of this glitter you can use to hide any glue marks that you've got. All this glitter will hide all of your mistakes if you like it to. So there we go. So here's our basic house shape. So next, we're going to do a door. And our little door is 1 1/2 inches long this way and 1 inch wide. So I'm just going to put a little hot glue on my door, just a little squiggle. You don't have to have a lot. And just try to get him in the middle as even as you can. And there's your door. And then next, of course, we have windows. And the little windows are 3/4 of an inch square. So I'm just going to glue my windows on now. And like I said, try to get them spaced. And of course, you want the top of your window to be even with the top of your door. And now we'll do the other window. And you all can get as fancy or as plain as you like. Like I said, try to get them pretty even, and even with your door top. You remember when we were kids and our doors and windows were all just all over the place? So here's our basic cabin. But what's a cabin without a chimney? So here's our chimney. And what I did was I took the side of my roof and I laid it on here to find just the right notch length, okay? And the chimney is 4 inches long and 1.5 inches high, and there's 1 inch in between each chimney, the peak of the roof. And you can see on the back, I've marked it so that I can score it and we can fold this around. So I'm going to score my chimney. And it doesn't matter that my ink pen shows, because it's going to get painted. And my wax paper's making it slide around a little bit. Whoops. Cut the ruler and not the cardboard. And then the last one. And if your chimney doesn't turn out perfect, don't worry about it. Mine actually didn't either. So you can see we're going to glue our chimney. And you can see it's just a little off, but that's okay. And then my piece here, what's going on here? Didn't quite want to get all bent. But, like I said, this is going to get covered with paint. So we're going to glue our edges again. And there goes my cuckoo clock. And we're just going to glue. And you can kind of take some of that excess off. And it's going to stay. So here's our chimney. And so you can see which is the best side. Probably that side. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on just the eaves. And like I said, if your glue runs a little bit and shows up on the outside, and I'm actually going to just mash this down pretty hard. There's a little excess glue. That's okay, because we're going to paint it. So here's our chimney to our log cabin. Isn't that cute? So all we have left is the base. And like I said, you know, I used to watch Bob Ross when I was a kid, and he would say, this is your happy little world and you can do whatever you want. And this is so true. This is your happy little house. You don't have to paint it as a log cabin like I did. You can make it a regular house with siding, and you can like and once you get it painted, say you want a blue house, you can take a fine point Sharpie and make your siding. You can glue little cardboard shingles on your roof and really make it elaborate. You can make a bigger base and put a little fence all around it. And then this model actually would work for a church shape. And then you would have your cathedral windows down each side and your little door, and then you could make a steeple. And it's basically the same way to make a steeple. So we're all done with our basic house, and all we have to do is glue it to our base and just try to get it on there even. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. this is your happy little house. So I'm just going to hot glue all along the bottom. And like I said, if a little glue shows to the outside when you stick it all down, you can make snow drifts with your glitter. Let me see here. Let me look at it. There. So stick it all down. There's our base. It's nice and adhered. Don't forget to sign your work on the bottom when you get done. Now, if you want, I painted my cabin to look like the lights are on. But the little old houses back in like the 50s that people used to have, there would be a little hole in the back or a little hole in the base, and you can actually maybe take your X-Acto knife or a Dremel tool and cut your windows out so that light will show out of your windows. If you want to be that elaborate, put a little plastic in there before you glue your base on. You can put a little bit of plastic on your windows to look like glass before you glue the base on, and then you can glue the base on. But this is our basic Putz house. And that's all we're going to do to it. And as you can see on all four sides, very simple. My grandmother used to make these she was a school teacher, and she would have the kids save their milk cartons after lunch, and they would wrap their milk cartons in paper, of course, because they were waxed. And then they would make houses out of their milk cartons because a milk carton's pretty much already shaped like a house. And then they would take it home. And that was really cute. My grandmother did all kinds of cool stuff with her class. So that is it for our basic Putz house. So the next video, I'm going to show you how to paint it like my log cabin. So thank you for watching. Merry Christmas. I hope you make these. Make all sorts of shapes and sizes. Make churches, make barns, make houses, make cabins. As I always say, the possibilities are endless. So thank you for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.